Hello, this is the Aftermarket Report with Vegas and Jim, and I'm bringing you Vegas all the way from Israel. Hello, Vegas.
Hi everyone. My gosh, it is for me at 12:45 at night. I mean, in the morning. So, actually, good morning. And you know what? I gotta say, good morning to my Israeli traders because there's actually quite a few of you that have messaged me and told me that you are live in Israel. So I'm so happy that we have some YouTube followers that are from Israel. So welcome and shalom. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the Farm Bill that's been passed. We're also going to talk about pot stocks. Jim's going to talk about those. We're also going to talk about GLUU, OMED, RSAU, which is an OTC pick, and NBEV. So I just want to talk about the actual Farm Bill. And I don't know if you guys follow the news, but the news on the Farm Bill really is that they did vote 87-13. The Senate basically approved legislation that allocates billions of dollars, B with a B as in billions, the subsidies to American farmers, which will legalize hemp and bolsters farmers markets and rejects the stricter limits on food stamps pushed by House Republicans. So this legislation is now just going to go to the White House, and it's obviously expected to pass there as well. So, this also triggered the pot stocks. So I'm going to turn it over to Jim, and he's going to talk about how this news actually kind of triggered some action in the land of marijuana.
Oh, yeah. Well, the talk of the town today in all the chat rooms and Twitter and everywhere else, Stocktwits, is about the Farm Bill and about the legalization of hemp. So, with a 87-13 vote, the Senate approved legalization, allocates billions of dollars to the legalization of hemp and the markets of the farmers. So, this excites me, and a few stocks that I was watching today, and I'll pull them up. One of them was HMPQ, HMPQ. Whoa, that's a tongue twister.
That was a tongue twister.
Well, the last 3 days we've had a pretty good little breakout on this, and I've been calling this thing under a penny. And so today we hit that magic number of over 100%, and it actually ran all the way up to 229. And I had kind of a little target in my head here, maybe if this wants to keep pushing up. Now I said maybe, because we've had a pretty good run right now. We could see at 3 cents. So I'm keeping HMPQ on watch, and along with that, my favorite ones, Tillery, CGC, ACB, and NBEV. It's not a pot stock, but it runs in that category. When they run, it seems like it wants to run CRON. So keep all them on your watch list, and that's all I can say is we still have the momentum there, and that's what matters to me. And CRON, I'm really liking it. So I'm waiting for it. If we can get down to $12 on CRON, that's going to be my entry point for it. I have a small core position, and I've been flipping it all the way up. And then we got an upgrade, Vegas.
Yeah. So, which one are you still talking about, CRON or no?
No, talking about GLUU.
Oh, sorry. I thought, you know what? Sometimes the Wi-Fi is a bit weird here, which it shouldn't be. So GLUU, I gotta tell you, this company, you guys heard me talk about GLUU before, the mobile gaming company, and I'm a big fan of GLUU. because of the fact of how advanced they are. And I really still believe that one day between this company and ZNGA, that they're eventually going to get either bought out or some sort of merger acquisition. I mean, I just cannot imagine that not happening in the next, in the foreseeable future. However, if you guys noticed the GLUU, Jim's going to talk about the chart in a second, but GLUU has been consolidating for 9 weeks, and GLUU got a really good upgrade from Cohen. And they did mention that with GLUU in particular, that they do plan to see an upgrade from $8 to actually $9.50. And the reason they gave it an upgrade was that they did mention that GLUU has a lot of action in store for 2019. They actually plan to have obviously some new products in the pipeline, and the valuation for the company remains very high because they feel that there's been significant earnings, which has leveraged the expected revenue growth. And this is what Wall Street loves. So Wall Street's really liking GLUU. And I think that people that really like, let's say, a swing trade, and today would have been a great day trade, but even if for a swing trade, longer term hold, this could be something that people may want to keep on a watch. And I believe 2019 is going to be a pretty good year for GLUU. So even if you don't like to swing trade or hold too long, just keep this one on watch, because I believe regardless of this upgrade, this could probably be a $10 stock down the road. So usually, as we know, $10 stocks and up attract a totally different set of investors or traders for that matter. So I'm going to turn it over to Jim now and talk about this GLUU chart and what he likes about it and what kind of action we can see from GLUU.
Well, GLUU to me had a great 2018. I mean, just very good. It had a bottom of 302 and ran all the way up to 842 in a year's period. And then what I like about the channel here is it really started to break out, somewhere back in March. And we had these little bounces up and these pullbacks to the 100 SMA, and it bounces up. And then we had another pullback to that support level, which I had right here at 565. And a couple months ago, it bounced up and had a high of 842, and then it consolidated back at this 100 SMA. And now we've had a double top, which, I call at 808 would be the double top base of this resistance. And then today, I'll pull this up to a 1 minute daily, and then we have a new resistance that's kind of started up here right around 820. So I've had this 808 up here for a while. Now we busted past it and we're at this 821. Now always expect this stock to pull back after a great run. It always does. And once it does that, I mean, this is just a beautiful run. It's up $1 in 2 days. So that's a big run for this stock right now. So let it pull back a little bit, consolidate, maybe right around 780. If that don't hold, we'll go down to about 753 and bounce right back up. So this is a Christmas special GLUU. It deals with games, and like she said, there's a lot of other stuff in the pipeline with this stock, and we're definitely bullish. We were bullish on it all last year, and we're going to see what 2019 will bring for us. But we're getting up there again, so we need a little consolidation. Then we'll try to get to that $10 level. And that's GLUU. And
Okay, and Jim, you've been liking OMED.
I liked it today,
And
that's for sure.
yeah, so let's hear why you like it so much. What's going on with that stock?
Well, this has been a bottom play, and this has been shouted out in the room for about 3 or 4 days now. And then I finally got to look at it today, and I said, well, this is consolidated for 3 days down here at the bottom of 90 cents. And it's starting to make sense to me, and this thing might bounce. See how it has little bounces? It was way oversold. I mean, 4 days ago, this thing was at $1.45 on a breakout, and then it just sold off. So it has news and stuff. I think we're down here at the bottom at 90 cents. Now, today in the room, we, I got in here and I started talking about it, and I posted something on Stocktwits, and all of a sudden things started bouncing up real nice. I'm going, wow, man, I'm an M&M. You know, I got some mustard finally. Well, the thing ran up to about 109, and I called that 109 perfect. I had the trend line drawn up, and I started, and before that, I was telling around 105 that we more or less hit a resistance. So once we hit that '09, I for sure told everybody go ahead and scale on out, set your stops, you know, preserve that profit. And then we didn't pull back to that 200 SMA, bounced up again to that 98, and we're kind of consolidated here at the end of the day. So I think this might be the first day of the breakout, and I'm just hoping tomorrow when we come in that the volume's still there. It might hesitate a little bit, but let's try to bring this back up above that $1.09. And that's OMED. It was shouted out into the room, and I just flipped it today, and I was satisfied with it. And then we got one Vegas that you really like,
Yeah. So what?
RSAU.
Yes, and you know what? This company is coincidentally connected to marijuana. So this is called Rue Shine. This is an OTC pick. So this is really shout out to Kiko. As you guys know, he teaches the OTC night school, and he found this pick and shared it. And what I love about the stock actually is they actually secured a contract with an international distributor, and they also do different products. They're going to get about $480,000 a month, so it's actually a big contract, like $5.6 million for the year of 2019. And I believe there'll be more announcements coming because they did mention that they're going to report more information later this in the next several weeks. I don't think this will be the last PR that we hear from this company. The company also has an LOI with Beechcraft Spirits, which is in Scotland, and they're going to distill Rue to brand out their spirits, which is obviously in the beverage sector. And also, they're going to report also on the progress of this, um, you know, um, I guess, partnership. So I think there's going to be a lot of more news. Now, this company, don't forget, is listed in Nevada, but they are focused on the importation and distribution of alcoholic spirits. And they also entered into a brand licensing agreement with the International Spirit Vault Limited. So this gives them proprietary process, which allows them to, expand their brand. So I think we'll see more of this particular stock becoming a little hotter in the OTC sector. So it's had a beautiful run the other day, but a really nice run even today. A really good one. And Jim, why don't you talk about that amazing chart?
Yep. Well, here's a year's chart. We had a high of a penny, 1.05. Then here just recently, in the last couple of weeks, we've had a low down here of 0.001. It was alerted into the room a couple of days ago, and ever since then we had a high of 0.006, which is more or less a pivot point, maybe a good resistance for right now here at that 6.1 level. Now we've pulled back to 4.5, which is a good solid base right there. So this is RSAU, and I'm going to pull up a daily. And you can see how we had the breakout today and then just kind of consolidated the rest of the day. But we did have that breakout. It did land a good contract at $5.76 million. So let's keep this baby on watch. This is RSAU. Any kind of pullback would be granted. Maybe a low of 0.0035 maybe. 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 0.0035 That's
All right.
RSAU. And then we got one of our favorite ones,
Oh, yeah. How is our little friend NBEV?
NBEV.
So NBEV just honestly seems to amaze me. I mean, everyone's just waiting for, more and more news with this NBEV company. And you know what? Funny enough, there was news on NBEV. And do you know what the news is? Well, they did have a deal that was announced. So as you guys know, CRON had a deal with a CINA retail group, and they were doing a partnership. However, that said, finally, NBEV, New Age Beverage, um, they had interest among mainstream companies in business related to the marijuana industry, and they are taking advantage for the cannabis infused beverages. They announced last week that it's going to actually buy an international health supplement beverage producer called Morinda Holdings for $85 million. And this has now opened up the market for new age beverage thanks to Morinda's presence. Because Morinda is in dozens of countries across the world. And, new age beverage is definitely going to have to execute on the growth of this because now that they're going to buy this company, they have to now be willing to expand and grow the brand. So now they have a really good opportunity. So this is really interesting that they bought this company out. So this will, stay tuned to keep watching NBEV, but NBEV's had some pretty good action, and I'm really pleased to see it going towards $6.
Well, here's one we've been very bullish on, very bullish. We've talked about this quite a bit. We just love this stock. We love to play the bottoms. It's so easy to play. We called this off the 100 SMA on a year's chart, right down here around low $3. Here a couple, oh, not even 20 days ago or so. And the thing just keeps just keeps exciting us more and more, especially with the noose. I hope they're not growing too big too fast. That's my only concern. A company can grow too big too fast, but this thing is just wiping out good news right and left. And so I'm still 100% bullish on this stock, and I'm going to bring this up to a 20-day. If this tells you anything, see, all 20 days we've been bullish on this thing, especially when it was called down here at the low 320s. It runs up, it pulls back, it runs up, it pulls back, it runs up, it pulls back, it runs up, it pulls back. It's just in its nature. Now they're supporting a new high here in the past 20 days, which is right around 580. And I'm also seeing the flag breakout also at the end of the day right here. So we're still 100% bullish on this, but everything that goes up has to come down a little bit. I don't want to see it anything lower than 544 maybe, a 20-cent drop, and then it's going to kind of sit around here and try to find a support come out tomorrow. And I just got an alert on it. Got a bearish trend on it right now. The TTM is bearish, so expect a pullback right here around 543. And I want to hold that support that held all day long today, all day long, 6 hours of it. So let's keep NBEV on your top of your watch list. And along with NBEV, you want to keep my other favorite stocks too, like I said, HMPQ, CRON, Tillery, CB, uh, C, CGC, and ACB, and even some other ones that you like. You want to maybe throw them into this farm bill, but that HMPQ is one that's really ran good off this bill, and they make oils and stuff. So that's our watch list for today, Vegas. What else would you like to tell us about your wonderful vacation over there in Israel?
Well, I say that there are a lot of people that trade stocks. I mean, I just randomly meeting people during my excursions here, and they have an advantage here because of the different time zone. They're actually trading stocks on the NYSE NASDAQ market. So a lot of people here have an actual job during the day, And even if they work part-time or full-time, they take the early shift. And a lot of Israeli startups here, or those Israeli companies, have really flexible hours that they actually let people work from home. They let them work in the morning and, split their shift in half. And a lot of people finish their day at 3 o'clock and then they run home to come trade the stock market. So I'm like, wow, talk about the best of both worlds sometimes. But, you obviously need to balance work and life. So very impressive, very advanced technology here. I'm going to be going to check out the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. And also, there's a couple night events that are out there for the blockchain sector. So I'm kind of interested to maybe check those out. So if I do, I will share it with you guys. But an amazing startup nation. So very excited to be down here. And I'll keep giving you guys updates as best as possible. So I want to thank everyone for being patient with the YouTube updates, because with the time zone, it's sometimes a little tough for Jim and I to coordinate getting together, because I'm 7 hours ahead of a lot of you out in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So thank you so much.
All right. As just got an alarm now that NBEV is on a bullish trend on the TTM.
Oh,
So we
it's a
broke
good
out of
look.
that little flag and we're at 567 now. So let's keep this thing
Mm-hmm.
bullish. And Vegas, I miss you. Can't wait to get you back here
Yeah, I
trading
missed
again with me
everybody.
again.
So I'm glad to at least be able to talk through our YouTube channel. So
Yep.
look forward to connecting on a more reasonable time zone. And hopefully we'll be able to do a recording tomorrow. So even though I'm not, actively trading, just because I'm all over the place during the day, I am still addicted to the stocks, and I love stocks because I'm still watching the action on my phone. So I'm still actively monitoring the action. So, look forward to reporting hopefully tomorrow night again. So, and thank you to Jim for doing a great job,
You're welcome.
uh, without me in the picture. But
It's not easy.
I do miss Jim too and miss the crowd. So,
All right. This is the
all
aftermarket.
right, guys.
This is the aftermarket report with Vegas and Jim. Today's date, December the 11th, 2018. And we love stocks.